All right. Welcome once again. Hope everything is with me. Uh, Welcome to the lecture number 33. So, once again, I welcome all of you to the lecture number 33 of the deep learning course. And as you are aware that in this session, we are going to talk about generative adversarial networks. So the idea is very not very new for you. So in the last class, when we were talking about variational autoencoder, we were actually seeing the same kind of concept there. So let me connect you with the variational autoencoder and give you a small problem. And this problem is about the generative modeling. And here, let me say that I am, you know, that encoder decoder architecture. So in that architecture, there is some part where there is a call encoder where you provide some image at X, and then it gives you the hidden representation. Using that hidden representation, you can think that logically there is discriminator or decoder, that is another part that gives you the X hat. And this particular network is trained in such a way so that the difference between x and x hat is going to be minimized. So using this kind of idea, if I say that for a moment you forget about this thing, and what you do, you just consider this particular part. Okay, so this part is shown over here where it is a decoder, and this hidden representation that few minutes back we were talking about, let me say that this value is going to be 1111. If I say that I am going to feed 1111, and here I want to get a image of a cat. Okay, so this is the problem, that I have a decoder where I am going to feed 1111, and I am going to find out, I expect that output would be a cat image. So the question is, can I do that? Is it possible that, because there is no feature that I'm going to feed over here, direct feature with respect to the cat, but is it possible? Looks like that it is possible, because at the time of training you keep another cat image, that whenever you are going to provide this value over here, you say that the difference between the original cat image and this cat image should be minimized. So you can find out that what is the delta, what is the gradient. You gradient propagate into the circuit, and therefore the first time whatever the cat image is this, next time you are going to cat image that is more near to this particular thing. So as the epochs increase, you are going to get the image that is very near to the original image that you wanted to make. So this you can do. So if I say that, okay, if I extend my discussion, I say that I'm going to feed another thing also, 0 0 0 0, and at that time I want a dog image. Is it also possible? Same way it is possible that if I feed 0 0 0 0, if I feed 0 0 0 0, I get dog image. I feed 1 1 1 1, I get cat image. So it is not very far to see that you can do it. Let's assume that you have made this kind of system. Let's assume that you come up with this kind of system, and now you are, instead of feeding these two predefined codes, if you feed 0 1 1 1, what would come out?
Cat image that looks like a
Cat image, something like cat image. Okay, if I give you 0 1 0 0, it would be something like dog image. Not that dog image, because you know that you have trained the system, so if you feed 0 0 0, that would be a specific dog image. 1 1 1 specific cat image, but this is going to give you something else. Understand? So this is a hidden representation. We can say that this is a hidden representation, and using these kind of hidden representation, you can create something that is new cat image. Okay. So this is the idea. Using this idea, if you want to generate a new image, what you can do? So one idea could be that whatever you are feeding right now, there was no connection that from where this value came. You may tell that I am going to construct a encoder provide the image over here. Encoder would give me the feature, and that feature I'm going to provide it here and make all these things that we have done. So the whatever value is going to come to me is actually something related to the cat image. I can utilize the encoder and I can use the method like that. In the last class, we have seen that when we were discussing about variational autoencoder, at that time we have seen that it may be possible that you show to the cat image to the encoder, get a feature from the encoder, add a small amount of noise to that. Okay, once again, I had an encoder, I showed the cat image, I find out the feature, I did some kind of perturbation to that, added some kind of positive negative noise, and then whatever I get, it is a new vector. I feed that vector to the decoder and get the output image of the cat. But if I do like that, the image that is going to come to me is not going to be very unique image. There is some. Sorry. हेलो, कोई इमरजेंसी तो नहीं है? मेरी क्लास है, ठीक है? So what I was telling, that in this way you can create new cat images. Okay. Let me discuss one more idea that is very fascinating and a very interesting idea. That let's assume that you have an image of a child, okay, and you create a feature out of this using encoder. Let me say it F1. F1 is a feature, and there is someone who is very old. I created the image. That is again, let me call it F2. Two features I have created. From the old one, I created F2. From the young one, I created F1. The point is this, that however, these lines are very, very far apart, that if I create something very similar, I get something to this particular person. I create something similar, I create something like this. I don't know, but we have to find out that how can we go along in this particular representation, so that we can somewhere mix and we can be on the same trajectory. If we can find out some path, so in between representation, maybe something very similar. I don't know how to find out that. We will discuss later how to do that. But if we can find out something that is on the trajectory, that in what way we can change these things and we can reach over here. Maybe some meaningful things you can generate, and you can connect and you can find in between the person's images, which why he was looked at this particular age. Very interesting problem. So this is again a generative kind of structure, and in the VAE, in the variational autoencoder, as you know that what we have did, we have seen the mathematical notion also, that there is an encoder, there is a decoder. Whatever X was provided, we have understood that what is their mu and sigma, what is the distribution properties, and then we have applied some kind of noise out of this, and then using this thing we created a Z. Okay, using this Z, if we provide over here, we are going to find out the X. In all these properties, this encoder is actually going to give you Z given what? X. If you provide X, it is going to give you Z. And similarly, decoder is going to give you X given Z. So and it is parameterized over theta. Here it would be also be parameterized on some other parameter, say phi. We have seen that if you want to make this thing happen, you have to make two things over there. One is the reconstruction loss, and another is a KL divergence that you can see. We have seen in the last class. Now I wanted to discuss two important things with respect to these two loss functions. What is that? We want to understand that what is this value and what is this value and what are their property, what is their problems. Reconstruction loss, you know that. You all know that what is the reconstruction loss. Difference between this value and this value should be lower. Okay. Let us try to understand what is the problem with the reconstruction loss. Till now we know that reconstruction loss means what? Same thing is going to be generated. So here is an example where I have few images Reconstruction loss formula of the reconstruction loss, everybody knows that we want to see that for all the pixels wise, if there is an image m cross n pixel, for every pixel location, you are going to see that what is the thing, what is the generated thing, and what is the original thing. What is the difference, pixel by pixel difference? You take the square of this for all the values 1/2m. It is the MSE loss. है ना? I have 3 images. I have 5 images. This one is the original image that I wanted to generate. If I come up with, I may, because I'm going to do reconstruction, I get B image, C image, D image, E image, F. All these images are possible. Let's assume that I wanted to generate this image, but in the system that we have just discussed, that I'm going to take the features of this particular thing, provide to the decoder. Decoder is going to give me something. Decoder can give me this, and this image. Very small question, whether the images are same. Just try to see this image, the original one, and this image, whether they are going to be the same. Looks very similar. Okay, good. So I can say that, okay, this is a okay image. Second one, looks like that there is somewhere more brightness. Do you find out any difference? Yes?
The face is slightly black.
Yes, yes. What about this image? Is it the same image? Looks like that. You can see that there is dot. There are dot here also into the black side. In the black side, you can see that there are some dots. So it is called the salt and pepper noise. Salt and pepper noise. Black pixel becomes white. White pixel become black. Black. Somewhere these kind of noises are introduced. You see that here is a black and pepper noise. Pepper noise. Here you can see that there is a problem. What about this image? It is blurred. You can see that this image is blurred as compared to the previous one. What about this image? This is a pixelated image where you can see that there is a checkerboard effect. In the head also you can see that there is a checkerboard effect. Here also you can see the checkerboard effect. So this image is not that good. Okay. All right. So if you understand this, so if I have said that they are ABCD. So if I compare that, what is the MSE between A and B, MSE between A and C, A and D, A and E, and A and F. What is the MSE between these things? If I ask you that, can you just try to give some number, random number? Let us see. Let me say that A and B, the MSE is 200. Okay. And A and C also, the MSE is 200. Let me say like that. What would be the MSE between A and D? Just guess some number.
300.
300. Okay. We expect 300. What would be the MSE between A and E? 500. What MSE between A and F? 800. So you are increasing. Why you are increasing?
Because the
Yeah, it looks like the difference is larger. Okay. But surprisingly, all these values are 200. Okay. This particular example is just to give you the idea that visual things, visually you are thinking that they are of the different quality. But in terms of the MSE, they have the same value. All of them have the value as 200. Okay. Visually, you can see that they are not good. But MSE, whether MSE is representing, my point is this, that this thing, the quality, the notion of quality that you are going to represent, whether it is encapsulated in the MSE or not, answer is not that good. Not that good, not well. Okay, this is the problem. However, very interesting thing is this, that if you minimize the L2, this MSE, it is equivalent to the maximization of log likelihood. It is equivalent to the maximization of the log likelihood. What do I mean by this? Minimization of what I said.
So what was the reason behind this?
Say again.
What was the reason of getting the
Same
same MSE?
MSE. So the same MSE is coming. I am telling that the same MSE is coming.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I tell that let's assume that this is an image A, this is an image B, and let me say that both the images are same. Okay, I say that A and A. Take two images A and A. What is MSE? It is 0. Let me make the MSE as is equal to 100. How can I make images MSE 100? I can change some bits over here, so that MSE becomes 100. Let everything else to be same. This is one image. I can create another image where I would change this thing here, where I would change this thing here. MSE would remain the same. The things are going to be bad. It is a different image. Different kind of images have the same MSE. Whether my system is going to give me this image or this image or this image, I don't know. This is one idea. So instead of doing the pixel difference, you can do something else here also. So by this, you can think that different kind of operation are possible that can give you the same MSE. And that's why we are not sure that what is we are going to get. Make sense? Okay. So I was telling that, you know that what is the loss? What is the loss? Loss is going to be something like that. Loss is going to, few minutes back, we have defined 1/2 mn summation for all I, summation for all j, for m, for n, it is x minus x hat square, something like that. So we can say that it is proportional to what I say? It is proportional to x minus x hat square, something. It is proportional to x minus x hat square. We can say like that. Let us try to understand this particular quantity, that what is the probability of x given mu sigma square. What do I mean by this? That what is Gaussian? What is Gaussian? Gaussian equation of Gaussian is something like that. It is something, some constant, then multiplied by e to the power minus mu minus x square divided by 2 sigma square. The Gaussian formula is something like that. There is some constant factor over there. So we can say that it is proportional to e to the power minus mu minus x upon 2 sigma square, like that. We can write like that. If we fix mu is equal to x hat, because x is coming from my system, I can say that it is also going to, I can tame that it is, because we expect that it is going to be the same value, sigma to be 1. So we can say here that this probability that x given x is equal to proportional to what? E to the power minus x hat minus x square. If I take the log of this quantity, log of px x hat is proportional to what? Minus of, because I take the log over here, minus of x hat minus x square. It is like that. Am I right? Okay. So let me quickly highlight only two things. Here I was talking about the loss. The formula of loss is this, and formula of log likelihood is this. That what is the log likelihood? That my output is going to be the same as the trained input. Output is going to be the same given same input. Okay. Here there is a small change, and that is, I think you can by yourself think that it is equivalent to, this particular thing is equivalent to x hat minus x square. That is the same thing. Okay, this thing is the same thing. Okay, so what is the difference between, what is the relationship between these two formula? There is a negative term over here. What we want to do with the loss, we want to minimize it. If we want to minimize it, this value is going to be reduced. So what about this value? This value is going to be increased. It means that log likelihood, what is this value? Log likelihood is going to be increased. Means if MSE is going to be controlled, then the probability that I am going to get the same thing increases. The idea is that I was earlier going to get, the probability that I am going to get the same thing is going to increases. So what I wanted to tell, that this is a perfectly right idea. L2 minimization is not a bad idea. However, there are these kind of issues. That what image you are going to get you may not be clear, but it is a good idea because it increases the log likelihood of the things. Make sense? So let me talk about the second thing. What is the KL divergence? Let me also talk about the second thing that we have. Second thing, KL divergence. You know that what is the KL divergence? KL divergence, if there is a probability distribution and there is another probability distribution, so they wanted to. It can find out that how much they differ. Divergence. Okay, there is some notion of the divergence. We want to minimize that divergence to make them same. So the formula is going to be something like this that we have seen here and there, that it is if you want to find out the divergence of P given Q. In your in last class we have seen that Q is my known tractable distribution, and P we want to find out that what is the distribution of that. So we change the parameter here so that this value becomes such that this difference is going to be minimized. Once again, in the last class, what we wanted to find the distribution of P, but we cannot find out the distribution of P because it is a very complex kind of function. Its distribution is very complex. So we said that okay, let us pick some known distribution, for example, Gaussian distribution, and change the Gaussian distribution parameter over here such that we can come up a distribution who is very similar to this particular one. And then I can say that no, I don't want this. This is equivalent to this thing because the difference is very less. Then I can utilize Q to represent the P, and then I can do the sampling. Make sense? What is the purpose of this equation? Is it clear? Why we went for the KL divergence into this particular formula? Why we went for the KL divergence? The reason was that what is the actual distribution of this particular item is not known because it's not very simple, it's very complex. We said that if somehow we can find out any other, I don't know that what is the distribution of this thing, but if I can come up with anything else that is Q, because Q, let's assume that a family of function that is known to me, in that I can change the parameter to get different kind of functions. So I would change something so that it becomes P. So I think, let me give you a visual example, then things would be more clear. So let me say that there is some distribution like this. Okay, this is the distribution that I wanted to find out. How can I represent this? I don't know that I have any function. I don't know that I have any such function. So I would say that okay, I don't know this, but I know that Gaussian. I know the equation of Gaussian. So I have a set of function where different Gaussians are there. What do you mean by different Gaussian? Different Gaussian means this is another Gaussian, this is another Gaussian, this is another Gaussian. What is the difference between all these Gaussians? Mu and sigma are different. By changing, so all these functions are here. I wanted to find out that Gaussian which actually minimizes difference between them. So I can start by anyone. For example, if I start with this particular Gaussian, is it a good Gaussian? No. So the system would try to find out another Gaussian that actually may be shifted over here, something like that. Are you able to understand this? So it will change the parameter of this Gaussian. If I started by the first one, if I started by this particular Gaussian, system would try to pick another Gaussian so that the difference is minimized. So if it is here, then the difference is definitely minimized. So what I would tell that this previous one minute. I would say, and here this is an important thing, that I wanted to represent this, but I am going to tell that it is this. Is it a good representation? Definitely not that. It is not a perfect thing. Okay, definitely it is not a perfect thing. But what would happen? That when I am going to do the optimization into here, So first thing it would do that if this kind of graph is there, it would try to bring it here so that it fits here. But if it is fitting here, so what about these distributions? Because here also there is a value into the original one. So what it would do, it would stretch it so that it becomes like that. So what would be my final output? Maybe something like that. This would be my final output given by my system, that it would settle to this particular thing. However, we can see that it is not a best one. What are the problems that are going to happen? One thing is this, that things are going to be blurry, because out of the two distribution, let's assume that in your distribution, two kind of cat images were there. In your distribution, why there are two peaks? The two kind of cat images are there in your distribution. But what you learn is this, and here is nothing, the peak is here. So you are going to create the images which are actually not of the same thing, it is something different. Can you see that? It is neither of this particular kind, neither of this particular kind. It is of something in between. And therefore, the quality of the things are going to be not that good. ये समझा पा रहा हूँ? थोड़ा जरूरी चीज है. Very important thing. That we wanted to find out the distribution of P so that we can sample. But we cannot sample it because ये तो बड़ा complex type का होता है. तो हमने कहा कि if you know some known distribution, so we can change the parameter of known distribution. कैसे change किया? यहाँ था, फिर यहाँ लाया, फिर यहाँ लाया, फिर ऐसे लाया, फिर इसको ऐसे बड़ा कर दिया. Change the parameter so that this KL divergence has reduced. When the KL divergence has reduced, this one I am going to say that instead of this I am going to use the green one. What happened? By yourself you can see that this is the one kind of cat, this is another kind of cat, but my system is going to generate something which is in between. This is a problem, not good thing. Clear?
Why can't we do something like Fourier transformation of Gaussian functions? Like let's say,
So look, all these transformations are not meant to change something. Transformation is some another representation. So that is always open. You can find out any other representation. In that representation space also things are represented into the same way. The concept is not going to change.
it will be more accurate compared to this.
No. Here you say that I'm going to neglect some of the components over there. Then only you can say no, because what happens that why we go for the Fourier? Because number of terms of transmission of all these frequencies is not possible. That's why we do those kind of things. So it is just a different representation. You can apply this concept. I'm talking into the general term. I'm not going to say anything specific that what is the representation of the image. So these concepts would also apply in that domain also. Okay, I'm talking about very general. I'm not talking that about, let us see about this image representation of the thing. Here is no image representation. I'm talking about the general concept. Okay, so this thing would also be the same problem over here. Now I'm going to tell you an interesting thing. And that interesting thing is this. What if I do the reverse KL divergence? The thing which we were talking about is called the forward KL divergence. There is something called reverse KL divergence. What is the reverse KL divergence? Reverse says that now you change the P and don't change the Q. We were telling that I was actually changing the parameter of Q to be near to the P, but now I'm telling that you change the parameter of P, don't change the Q. Once again, what does it mean? It means that on the axis, once again, one minute, let me change the color. Okay, so I am going to fix that this is my Gaussian. And I am telling that your curve, this curve that you had, this now need to be changed. This is possible. Why it is possible? It is possible because P is learned. I am going to apply a encoder to learn this thing. So I can tell him that change your representation in some way so that it is very near to this one. I'm changing my equation. I'm saying that can you change this representation so that it becomes equal to my known one? Very strange kind of thing. That's why we say that this is not a general mu and sigma. I say that make it to the mu is equal to 0 and sigma is equal to 1. I say that mu is equal to 0 and sigma is equal to 1. Change the parameter so that you learn the hidden representation in such a way so that it becomes near to this. Let me tell you what would happen. So what would happen, that it would try to shift this thing in some way. It would try to stretch this thing also. It would try to, because it would try to put it here. It would try to stretch also. It would try to stretch also and bring it to the near, okay, and shift, stretch and shift so that it is 1 minute. Okay. This time this would happen. If I go reverse, this would happen. The representation, which was the representation, it is going to change itself in such that it is going to fit the unit normal. Now I have a question again. I want to understand that whether this is good or bad. If you compare those two things, which one is bad? Good. Second one or first one? Let me call it A and B. This is A, this is B. Whether A is better or B? Huh? B is better. Well, actually, there are two reasons. The first reason, that when you change it, you are producing something which is not in my database. I had this kind of cat and this kind of cat. You are producing some third kind of cat which is not with me. If there are multiple peaks, it means this. So you are not generating something that is more likely to me. Second thing, that it is okay that if you generate only this kind of images, cat images, if you don't generate this kind of cat image, then I don't have any much problem, because as long as you are generating new things, I'm okay with that, because this is a generative network. I want to generate something. If it is generating something that is here, coming from here, it means that it is generating very good images of that particular cat thing. So here, the system is actually going to capture this particular part, and once again, you can see that which is the most prominent one. Because when it is going to change something and fit, it is going to change to the most prominent one only. Why it would fit it here? It would fit at this particular place. So mostly it is going to give me the good things. Definitely, it is not going to be the perfect thing, but it is going to be the better. That's why out of these two choices, where we have the forward scale divergence and reverse scale divergence, reverse scale divergence is more better. Make sense? समझ आ गया पूरा?
Similarly, in forward scale divergence, we can take our P and
Okay. So you are telling that in the forward scale divergence also we can make it here. Okay. But jara socho, how would you know that this is going to be? You have to start at this particular location. At this particular location, because your target is to match to this particular complete thing, and if you are matching over here, so this part is going to be remained. ये तो प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा ना आपको. आप इसको कवर करोगे ही करोगे यहाँ से यहाँ तक आके, नहीं तो वो कवर ही नहीं कर पा रहे हो आप. If you are not covering that particular part, तो प्रॉब्लम होगा. इसलिए आप एवरेज बिहेवियर करने लगोगे, and the average behavior has these kind of issues that you are not going to be near to anyone. है ना? So reverse KL divergence. Okay, got the idea? Okay. अब तो हमने एक प्रॉब्लम तो सॉल्व कर ली कि KL डाइवर्जेंस जब हम करेंगे तो हम रिवर्स की तरफ से करेंगे. अब एक दूसरी प्रॉब्लम, और दूसरी प्रॉब्लम थोड़ा सा बहुत आसानी से आपको समझ में आ जाएगी, और मुझे लगता है यहीं पे फिर हम लोग रुक जाएंगे आज की क्लास में. तो जो दूसरी प्रॉब्लम से
इसमें डाउट है क्लीन मत कीजिएगा.
Okay. Yeah. So let me give you this, that there is a distribution called P. Okay. And distribution means what? For all the different values, let me say that it is a distribution of X. So on X-axis, I am going to find out X. For example, 0.1, 0.3, 0.8, 0.95. And distribution means what? that what is the probability, what is the likelihood, what is the probability. So let's assume the probability of 1 is this, 3 is this much, 8 is this much, 9, 5 is this much. So only these values, let's assume that only these values are going to be produced. So I can say that it is 0.1, it is 0.3, it is 0.2. How much it is? 3, 4, 5, 6, 0.4. Okay. So this is what the distribution is. I have another distribution. Let me say that Q distribution, and it has the it takes the value 0.1, 0.2, 0.5, 0.8. Okay, it takes these values, and this is 0.3, and this is 0.4, 0.1, and it is 0.2. This is the probabilities. Now if I want to find out KL divergence between P and Q, how would you find out? So you know that this is the formula. Probability of P log P upon Q. So it is going to see that all the values which P takes, I am going to say that what is the probability of that particular value, and then log of probability of that value, then Q of that particular value. This is what the formula is. What are the values? The values are P can take 0.1, 0.3, 0.8, 0.95. So I would have 4 such terms. First term, probability of 0.1, probability of 0. I'm just solving this, okay? 0.3, probability of 0.8, probability of 0.95. Please correct me. I do lot of errors. Log, then log, then log. What is here? Probability of 0.1 divided by Q of 0.1. Probability of 0.3 divided by Q of 0.3. Probability of 0.8 divided by Q of 0.8. Probability of 0.95 divided by Q of 0.95. With respect to all these 4 values, I write the equation in this particular way. All right. Now help me to get these values. What is probability of 0.1? You know that these values are shown to you. Yeah. What is this value? Probability of 0.1. It is 0. It is again 0.1. Here also 0.1. What is it? Q 0.1? 0.3. Correct. What is the probability of 0.3? It is 0.3. So I have done these kind of problems, okay? 0.3. So this value is coming from here, okay? Probability of 0.3 is this. Probability 0.1 is even. I must have changed this value so that better. What is the probability of 0.3? This Q does not take any value. So this value becomes 0, and this is the problem. What is the probability of 0.8? It is 0.2. Here also 0.2. But here 0.8 is 0.2. You can see that here also value 0.2. 0.95, this is going to be 0.4, 0.4, but here 95 is not available. So it becomes again 0. 2 places there is a 0. 2 places there is a 0. And because of this, the KL divergence you cannot compute. It becomes undefined. There could be some cases where KL divergence is not defined. If for all the available values which this particular one takes, if the values are not available onto the second one, we cannot find out these kind of thing. So this is the big problem with the thing. I give you a homework that try to find out that what is this value when all these values are actually defined. Okay. And try to find what is PQ and QP, and with respect to PQ and QP, whether they are same or not. They would not be the same. So this is the problem. This is one problem that is there. This is along with this kind of understanding where I wanted to go for the reverse scale divergence. This is another problem that this scale and this KL divergence faces. So that's why there is a small solution, and the solution is the JS divergence. So instead of KL divergence, a better representation is going to be JS divergence. JS divergence is actually summation of two terms, where the first term says that KL of P and M, and second is KL of Q and M. What does it mean? We have only two distribution P and Q. We only have the two different distribution P and Q. What is this M? M is actually the sum. M is actually defined by P plus Q divided by 2. M is defined by P plus Q divided by 2. So KL, how can I find out this thing? So I would be giving the example very soon so that it would be clear. So it says, JSD says that if you want to find out JSD between P and Q, create another distribution M, and with respect to M, you find out P and Q. And then it would be not be the case that it is not going to be the undefined. Okay, so here in this example, let me just clear this particular part once. And let me create the M. And M would be the summation of P and Q. So for 0.1, it is for 0.1. What would be the probability? You can see that here 0.3, 0.1. It would be 0.2 P plus Q divided by 2. Next value is 3. Next value is 3 here and 2 here. So I would take 2. So for 0.2, what is this value? 0.2, correct, because here the probability is 0. Then 0.3, the value is what? 0.15. For next value is 0.5, next value is 0.8, next value is 0.95. Tell me that what these values are. Now if I say that find out the KL divergence between this and this, you can find out, no problem, because for all the values which it takes, I am going to find out, because I am going to divide with these values, so all these values are available to me. So divide by 0 is not going to come this time. So by this, this particular problem has been addressed. So again, try to come up with the KL divergence of these values between P and Q and P. This is your homework. Try to find out that how to get these values. So this is the interesting idea, JS divergence. And from in the next class, that is going to be the last class, we are going to talk about more details about the GANs. That is going to be generative adversarial network. That is a very important thing, and there are very mathematical things. Please come and understand. Otherwise, it would be difficult for you to go by yourself. One thing so thank you very much for joining this session.